Hello everyone, I have here the LEGO Star Wars Ambush on Ferrix set. This is from the upcoming Disney Plus show Andor, which is a prequel to Rogue One, and I bought this for its retail price of $70 US and then built it live over on my Twitch channel, where I do about 120 hours a month on average of LEGO building, custom building in the city, and also some of these mech model builds. Now, this thing has 679 pieces, comes with 3 minifigures as well as a 2-person speeder bike. Of course, I'm going to show you those more closely later on, but first I'm going to focus on the main thing that you see here, this tack pod, which looks very much like a chibi or super deformed Imperial version of an old Republic gunship. And well, it's pretty much what it looks like in universe. We saw a little bit of it from the back in the first Andor trailer or teaser, and then we see a few of them a little bit better in the trailer footage. Still not full views of them. This LEGO version here is definitely even more chibi, even more super deformed than the quote-unquote real things. But I think that overall LEGO has presented something that looks fairly complete here, and that's what I like about it the most. You know, this actually reminds me of probably what Kenner would have done as a mini rig version of a Republic gunship back in the old days. Oh, these shapes right here fit together so nicely. This is my favorite part by far of this. It's just very satisfying. These angles also come together extraordinarily easily there in the front. It's actually a little bit more tricky. The assembly just back here, this slight offset, the way that it all comes together. This top of the canopy also comes down easily. This is a Speed Champion style of windscreen, just with an exclusive print on it. The gray is not the perfect match, but because of the placement of this, it really doesn't bother me here. Probably once I see this, the craft in universe more closely from the front and all, it'll start to bug me a little bit more. But for right now, I'm really not bothered by it. I like this turret on top. It has the 2 spring-loaded shooter, not spring-loaded, the tile or stud shooters. It's able to rotate around 360 degrees, and it's also able to angle the barrel down very slightly and up, the one that doesn't actually shoot, which is perfect. You know, it looks kind of realistic-ish. I do wish that it had a little bit of friction in here. But all in all, we're looking pretty good so far. This does use stickers for exterior decoration. These tiny winglets are just way too tiny. Actually, you know what? They're probably not so bad when viewed from the side. The biggest problem with this proportion-wise is that it's shrunk down front to back. But I think that does make it a better toy because this is a very compact design, which makes a lot of sense. And I've spoken out against LEGO constantly making their Star Wars things bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and more expensive. We'll get to the more expensive thing in a minute. The builds for the engines look good, and these little winglets, because it's Star Wars and it's a shuttle-like thing, of course, the shuttle or fighter-like thing, and it has wing-like things on it. The wing-like things have to be able to transform in some way. They have to be able to fold. So there's that. Yeah, you know, kind of get them out of the way a little bit. But more importantly, to get access to the interior of this, because it is intended to carry people, you open this up. That's really nice and convenient. You bring this down, you bring that down. That's nice and convenient. You also bring this down. Let me actually start here because there's a little bit less, well, there's a lot less to see there. Most of that is structure in the center, and just on the back of this there are a couple of clips where you can put a couple of guns. That's it. This could have been better utilized, but it's not bad. Now, if the back is not bad, the front is genuinely good. This does use stickers for its exclusive console prints there. You got a couple of control yokes suggested with the small 1x1 piece there, but a very generous cockpit. You know, semi-custom build for that with a regular seat in the middle, but they made it look a little bit plush. You know, probably got some leather pleather kind of coating on it. Plenty of room for us to put a minifigure in there. It's not cramped. And then in the center section, you can put 4 figures there because you've got a seat here, right? So somebody can be facing towards the back, seat here, somebody can be facing towards the front. Just need to have the inner arms up, the arms that are towards the inside up. And it's the exact same story over here. This is a very good use of space, although the whole craft is larger than I thought it was going to be just from looking at the pictures. Still, to be able to fit 5 people into this comfortably, plus a little bit of cargo. That's just a crate. It's empty right now. But, you know, plus a little bit of cargo there. Plus you can put at least something back here. Again, this could have been better utilized for sure. You could put Could have had some more clips in here, but still, it's better than nothing. And you also have a nice finished look to the exterior, and you also have a weapon that can be moved around, and it actually has action features built into it with the firing studs. This is a suggestion of a forward-facing cannon as well, and you got a little bit of transformation feature there. This is just all good, honestly. It's very easy to swoosh around because it's just so small, or various ways that you can grab it. The worst thing about this is just how it looks from the underside. And even that's not terrible. It just looks like the underside of a thing. I don't like to see the green, but the rest of it doesn't really bug me that much, and you're almost never going to actually see that. So all in all, just the worst thing about this is even not bad itself. The speeder bike is somewhat simple. This is the first thing that you actually build in the set, but it looks pretty good. I like the struts here, the use of the single whip piece. It's all wrapped around a couple times on one of those bars. The color scheme is pretty good. Yeah, I think that it meets or matches the tone pretty properly. I do wish that this would stand like this. Instead, it just angles forward, but big deal. This also does easily hold two figures. So one sits right there and one sits back here. And if you want this to carry some cargo, you can either attach things to the side right here or take this off here to expose a couple of studs, but it doesn't have any clips on it other than just these two small ones on the side. I think that you could have had some more attachment points back here, potentially, just to make it a little bit more useful. But this is enough to at least hold the sidearms of the rider and passenger. Looking at the figures here, on the left is Cassian Andor himself. In the middle is Lutheran Rail, I believe is how it's pronounced. We see him quite a bit in the trailer. And then Cyril Karn. I have some issues here. First of all, the minifigs look good. The quality looks quite good to me. This is the newer, I forget the name of this skin tone now, but it's slightly darker than the light nougat. But this to me just doesn't look like Diego Luna. He has different hair throughout, depending upon the progression of the character and what he's trying to do. But it just doesn't look like Cassian Andor to me personally. And then this one here looks more like Woody Harrelson's character from the Solo movie. So I'm a little bit confused by these. Just my brain has trouble kind of rectifying that. Different styles of sidearms of pistols for each of those. That's nice. Good printing around the back. Nice hairpiece here, though, even if it's not the most appropriate. That's actually a better face right there. Let me just show you what that looks like, framed by the hair. Yeah, see, that works out better. The other one really doesn't for me. This works for me as well. I don't know if it looks any more like the character it represents, but it's a good look in general. And I'm glad that the orange here is strong against the blue. So they actually did some decent printing over on that one. And lastly, these are the leftover pieces. You see a bunch of extra bright green and trans bright green tiles. Those are just ammo pieces for the turret on the top of the tac pod, and you can put some of those into the case that you saw as a little bit of cargo inside of the main bay. And then the sticker sheet, well, there were a fair number of stickers for this, but I personally am pretty happy with them because I feel like they add good detail and they're not too difficult to apply, because though the light gray is not a perfect match, it's not bad. With respect to value, when I first saw the reveal for this, and I covered it in a video over on my old main channel, I detested the price and thought that the value was absolutely terrible, completely ridiculous. So simply put, I was wrong about that. It is not completely outside of the realm of reasonability. I would like this to be, in an ideal world, like $55 US. But I don't think that that's reasonable in 2022 to expect. So let's say $60 US, which means that Lego is going to ask like 65. Well, it is actually $70 US. So you see, it's just kind of stretching. So it's definitely still more expensive than I would like it to be. But it's within a couple of small discounts of reasonable to me, because the set itself is really good. It's also larger than I thought it was going to be from the pictures. I got a good impression from the initial pictures of the usable interior space. No surprises there, but the whole thing is just a little bit bulkier, a little bit chunkier around the outside of that usable interior space. And that just, I just feel more value here. When I compare this to like the $50 Boba Fett Starship that I felt was expensive, but still good, because good in a respectable value because it's just such a good build. I see similar quality here and usefulness for its size, but more quantity. So yes, this has to be above 50. 60 is about where I would like to see this. So see, we're not too far off. In the US, in the UK, it's 70 British pounds. That's way too much. In the Eurozone, the base price is 80 euros. That's way too much. Not happy with that at all. But what I constantly hear, from viewers over on the other side of the Atlantic, is that over there, as soon as something is released, it's immediately on sale for like 20%, 30% off, 40% off, 50%, like crazy substantive discounts instantly at the moment of release, sometimes even before release, anywhere other than lego.com. And that's great. It's a completely foreign concept to me. It does not happen over here. But if you are from the other side of the Atlantic and you can get a discount on this from day one, great. If you feel, no matter where you are, if you feel like you see $70 US or whatever the price is, in your local region, if you feel like you see that much value here, then I'm going to recommend that you go ahead and pull the trigger on it, because again, it's a very good build. It's one of those, it's like, again, Boba Fett's Starship, the small one, class, Imperial Marauder class, the small Mandalorian hover transport vehicle. It's that level of good fit and finish, good usable space, good as a toy, looks decent on display as well. Proportions of this one are a little bit off, but just generally, it's a good set. I'd love it to be a little bit cheaper, but it's not outrageous in its price. Again, I was wrong about that when I first saw the pictures. And that's another reason why I actually go out and buy these things, so that I can see it in person. I can have it in my hands. I can go through the whole build experience. I can compare it to other things that I have or have had. And I also feel the pain of the money leaving my wallet, for better or worse. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this. I've got more things to build live over on Twitch, and of course, more reviews to bring you right here. Talk to you again soon. Bye for now.